Hi, I'm But that doesn't matter. The year was 1860, a year that would soon go down in history. The year that Abraham Lincoln was elected into office. As usual, there were 4 contestants. John Bell, John C. Breckinridge, Stephen A. Douglas, and Abraham Lincoln. As usual, there can only be one winner. And as usual, it'll be the one person with the most electoral votes. And as usual, I want my coffee! Much better. In 4th place, we have Stephen A. Douglas with 12 electoral votes. And in 3rd place came John Bell with 39 electoral votes. And in 2nd place came John C. Breckinridge with 72 electoral votes. And in 1st place, with 180 electoral votes, came Abraham Lincoln! Now, time for more coffee!
We all know that Abraham Lincoln,
That's me,
was elected into office on November 6, 1860, with 180 electoral votes. But then, when the attack on Fort Sumter on April 12, 1861 happened, the Civil War started. Then, shortly after that, 3 days to be exact, Lincoln issues a proclamation calling for 75,000 militiamen and summoning a special session of Congress for July 4th. Robert E. Lee was offered command of this army, but he declined. 2 days later, Virginia secedes from the Union like all the other southern states. This made the Confederacy an 11-state nation with a population of 9 million, which included about 4 million slaves, of course. Now, on July 4th, 1861, Lincoln, in a speech to Congress, states the war is a people's contest, a struggle for maintaining in the world that form and substance of government, whose leading object is to elevate the condition of men. Now, Congress calls for 500,000 men. 17 days later, on the 21st, the Union Army suffers a defeat at Bull Run, 25 miles southwest of Washington. Union troops fall back to Washington. For the next few years, many famous battles were fought over slavery and preserving the Union. Some of these were the Battle of Sewell's Point, Battle of Aquia Creek, the Battle of Philippi Races, Battle of Big Bethel, the Battle of Boonville, the Battle of High Bridge, the Battle of Cumberland Church, the Battle of Spanish Fort, the Battle of Appomattox. Are you people even listening? Wait, where are you going? What? Why are you leaving? Wasn't this just... Anyways, Lincoln had leaders in the border states arrested for trying to secede. 18,000 people were sent to jail, but none of them were killed or hurt. One was exiled, though. This was a very bold move for Lincoln, and it worked because all of the border states stayed in the Union. In the end, the North won and had saved the Union. In the war, more than 600,000 soldiers died, and it had cost billions of dollars to the Americans. The federal government had strengthened and become more powerful than the states. It had also freed millions of African Americans from slavery. The Gettysburg Address is one of the most quoted speeches in United States history. It was delivered at the dedication of the Soldiers' National Cemetery in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, on the afternoon of Thursday, November 19, 1863, during the American Civil War, 4.5 months after the Union armies defeated those of the Confederacy at the decisive battle at Gettysburg.
70 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation will be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we were highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
In 1863, Lincoln issued his Emancipation Proclamation, which set all slaves free. Later, in 1865, the 13th Amendment to the Constitution was passed, abolishing slavery in all states. On April 9, 1865, General Robert E. Lee surrenders his Confederate Army to General Ulysses S. Grant at the village of Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia. Grant allows rebel officers to keep their sidearms and permits soldiers to keep horses and mules.
After 4 years of arduous service, marked by unsurpassed courage and fortitude, the Army of Northern Virginia has compelled to yield to overwhelming numbers and resources,
Lee tells his troops. Now the Civil War is over, and everyone is at peace. In the election of 1864, Abraham Lincoln wins very easily for his spectacular actions in the Civil War.
Though Honest Abe was a great president, he would not stay in office forever, or stay alive forever.
Abraham was enjoying the play Our American Cousin at Ford's Theater with his wife and 2 cousins. But unknown to Honest Abe, this was about to be one of the last moments of his life.
Abraham and Mrs. Lincoln were enjoying the play just like everyone else in the theater was. But when the funniest part in the play was going to come, Booth was going to make his move.
Booth was waiting for the perfect time to shoot the president, and he thought that the roaring laughter would come after the funniest part in the play would cover up the sound of the gunshot.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
John Wilkes Booth was a headlining actor who starred in many plays such as The Robbers, Hamlet, The Stranger, Romeo and Juliet, and many more. On April 11, 1865, Booth was in a crowd in front of the White House listening to the president give a speech. In this speech, President Lincoln granted former slaves suffrage or the right to vote. Shortly after this, Booth declared that this would be the last speech Lincoln would ever make.
Wow, that's scary.
Now let's go back to that night of April 14, 1865.
Let's go see this.
Let's go.
Our American Cousin. Wee.
The President and the First Lady sat up in the presidential box of the Ford's Theater. Like I said, Booth was waiting for the perfect time to shoot the president. After he did, he jumped down from the presidential box, landed on his leg awkwardly, and broke it, but still managed to escape. A doctor in the audience soon rushed up to the balcony to help the president. The bullet went through the back of his head and was stuck behind his right eye. Lincoln was taken to the hospital. He was paralyzed and was barely breathing. And at 7:22 a.m. on April 15th, 1865, Abraham Lincoln
Passed away.
Though he died tragically, his story will live on as the 16th President of the United States. The ways he helped the Civil War and how he is one of the most memorable presidents we have ever had. So rest in peace, Abe. Rest in